Thank you, Rob, and thank you for allowing me to be on the show today. Hello, everybody. My name is Michaela Berryhill, and I am going to be your host for the Gardener Corners show today. I am the Field Crops Extension Agent for Person in Granville County, and today I wanted to start out with talking to you about some of the things that the other agents at the Person County Extension Office have going on and coming up over the next few weeks or so. The first thing is Mr. Johnny Coley is working really hard on getting the Extension Master Gardener program for Granville and Person County. It's going to begin on February 9th, and registration will be due on January 26th. The training will be held at the Berea Volunteer Fire Department every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. through the middle of May. Some topics that are going to be covered in the training include soil and plant nutrients, plant propagation, insects, plant diseases, lawn care, small fruits, tree fruits, diagnostics, landscape design, and more. So it's a very packed training and you will learn a lot within it. The cost of the training is $150, which includes a textbook. If you have any questions about this training or you would like to register, please contact Johnny Coley at johnny_coley@ncsu.edu or at the Person County Extension Office at 336-599-1195 or the Granville County Extension Office, and that number is 919-603-1350. Typically, you can just call one of the offices and they'll be able to find one of us or get a message to one of us, and we usually get back pretty quick. So call either one of those offices, whichever one you are more comfortable calling. Definitely signed up for this Extension Master Gardener program. Many people have been through this program and really enjoy it. It's a great way to volunteer. It's a great way to learn more about gardening, and it sounds like a lot of fun. I wish that I could do it. The next thing is that we at the Person County Extension Office have a new 4-H agent. Her name is Lexi Swick, and she started right at the beginning of the year. And she is having a 4-H open house on Wednesday, January 25th, in the auditorium of the County Extension Office, which is 304 South Morgan Street. The open house will give Person County youth the opportunity to learn more about the existing 4-H clubs and upcoming events. And of course, to meet Lexi, the new 4-H agent. So anybody that has been involved in 4-H in the past that has, not been able to get back in touch with it, maybe because of COVID or any other reason, this would be a great opportunity to be able to come back around, see what's going on, and find out more about the current program. In case you don't know about 4-H, if you have never heard of it, it's an organization that's dedicated to improving the learning, citizenship, and responsibility of young people ages 5 through 18. Some upcoming events that are about to start up this year is the return of the Feather Classic, where youth members receive chicks with the ultimate goal of showing the adult birds this October at the state fair. Opportunities for sewing and shooting sports will also be offered this year, including camps, conferences, and workshops. Existing and prospective 4-Hers and their families are welcome at the open house, which again is on Wednesday, January 25th at the auditorium of 304 South Morgan Street, the Person County Office Building. And next is, of course, Miss Jennifer Brown. She always has something going on, and one thing coming up here pretty soon is Eating for a Stronger and Healthier You. This is going to be the virtual component of this program that she has. It's part of the Extension at Home series. It's going to be again, it's Tuesday, the 24th from 12 to 1. And just a description about the event, we all hear so much different information about eating healthy, and it can be difficult to navigate through it all. This lesson will teach you about all of the food groups with a special focus on fruits and vegetables. Learn how smart food choices can fuel your body and your mind. If you have any questions about that, please reach out to Jennifer. Her email is jennifer.brown@ncsu.edu. And again, you can reach her at either of the extension offices. The Person County office phone number is 336-599-1195. And the Granville County extension office number is 919-603-1350. And just want to reiterate that program that I was speaking about, the Eating for a Stronger and Healthier You, it is virtual, so it will be online. If you want that information, give us a call or go to the Person County website, which is person.ces.ncsu.edu, and you can find the information there. Now, I do believe that Rob has to get some advertisements in, and so I'm going to turn it back over to him, and I will be right back with you.
T.G. Brooks Supply Company wishes you a successful 2023. We probably will get a taste of more real winter and cold winter days and nights in January, which suggests a trip out to T.G. Brooks Supply Company, 411 Helena Maria Road in Timberlake. Cold weather needs are found at T.G. Brooks Supply Company, like furnace filters, stove pipe, and stove mats, pipe insulation, plastic to put around your windows. You will find water heater elements, thermostats, pressure relief valves, ice melt, bird seed in 10, 25, and 50-pound bags, and sunflower and black oil seed. There are shovels in case we have ice or snow. They have wedges, axes, and mauls for getting stove wood ready. They have gloves, lined and unlined in leather and cloth. They are your first choice for well pumps and piping when water problems occur, with a selection of submersible and top-of-the-ground jet pumps, pipe wire, and pipe fittings. They also carry cast iron cookware, and they fill propane gas bottles. Plenty of dog food and 100% kiln-dried cedar shavings. They also have dog kennels. You might need an outdoor thermometer. Plan to spend a little time at T.G. Brooks Supply Company, talking about warmer days in a couple of months and getting information on your future lawn and garden plans. Soon we'll be talking about putting out pre-emergent weed control. Come to the place people like to shop from all over the region, a local, friendly family business, faithful to the homeowner, farmer, and construction worker since 1936. Phone anytime you need advice at 364-3016. Remember, this in our new year, everything works out when you have a T.G. Brooks Supply Company day. No week is complete without a visit to T.G. Brooks Supply Company in Timberlake.
Thank you very much, Rob, and welcome back, everybody, to the Gardener Corner show. I'm Michaela Berryhill. I am the Field Crops Extension Agent for Person in Granville County, and I am your host today. Next, I want to talk a little bit about variety selection. And now I'm going to say variety, but I could mean cultivar or hybrid, or any term that could mean a genetic type of a specific crop. Selecting the right variety is incredibly important, no matter what crop you're growing. If it's your lawn, your garden, or a crop field, soybeans, wheat, vegetables, fruits, whatever it is, it's really important to make sure that you're identifying important characteristics that fit your system best. And so I really want to walk through a few things that you should pay attention to whenever you are determining these characteristics, some things you should keep in mind, all of that different considerations that you should take into account. The first one, which might be something that you think about often, or it could be something you've never thought about, but it's disease resistance. So plants get sick too. They have certain things in the environment that can attack them, and it can make them not produce, it can make them lose quality, it can cause all sorts of issues. And some varieties are able to be resistant to some of these diseases. So one example that I know of, because I'm in field crops, is in tobacco, there is a disease called black shank. Black shank, there's nothing that you can do once the plant is infected with black shank. It just is what it is. And so genetic resistance, or selecting a variety that is resistant to this disease, is incredibly important. Now, this isn't only in tobacco, it's in every other crop too. There are wheat varieties that are more resistant to powdery mildew. There are soybean varieties that are more resistant to frog eye leaf spot. And I am a field crop girl, so those are the examples that I come up with, but the same thing can happen in your gardens, in your vegetables, and your fruits. There are different varieties or cultivars or hybrids that are going to be more resistant to diseases. And so if you've seen a disease in your garden, in your field, in your lawn in the past, and you don't want to have that issue anymore, then take note of it. And whenever you replant, reseed, then make sure that you have a variety that is resistant or at least tolerant to that disease. The next thing to keep in mind is your soil type. Knowing your soil type, and specifically the water holding capacity and the drainage ability of your soil type, is really important for varieties. This aspect of genetics, it might not quite be as well researched, so it could be something that you've got to kind of have a trial and error with. But there are certain varieties of crops, of fruits, that are able to grow well in an environment that is either well drained or drowned, depending on what soil type they're in, they're able to produce better. And so it's really important to pay attention to that. If you have a soil that is super sandy and it drains really well, then you want to make sure that you've got a variety that is drought tolerant, because it's going to lose water quicker. That soil is not going to hold water, and that plant is probably at some point going to go thirsty. So you don't want to have a variety that likes to have access to water all year round whenever this occurs. On the other hand, there are soils that do not drain at all, and they're going to flood. And so then you're going to want a variety that is able to withstand flood a little bit better. And that is possible. Again, I'm a field crops girl, so there has been research from NC State recently in corn and soybeans that is looking at this specifically. So it was a variety trial where they put out a bunch of different varieties of corn and soybeans. They had irrigation systems and different drainage systems where they were able to stimulate a well-drained soil versus a poorly drained soil, and they monitored how well those varieties stood up against that specific environment. And so if you're interested in this research, I can give you access to it. Give me a call at the extension office and I can give you that information. The next thing to think about whenever you're looking at varieties is quality. And so there are varieties, particularly in food products, so that's your fruits, vegetables, nuts, all of those types of things, tobacco or grain crops, that are better able to consistently result in high quality products. For grain crops, this is usually measured in test weight, or in the case of wheat, it's in falling number. In tobacco, it's usually measured by grade index, or whenever looking a little bit more intensively into the different things you can measure from tobacco, you can look at the sugar and the nicotine content. And then in horticulture crops, it's usually something associated either with the taste of the product or with the amount or the ability of the variety to produce marketable fruits. And so those are fruits that you wouldn't cull. They're fruits that you would see out in the grocery store. It's not something that's weird and kind of misshapen and wouldn't be able to be sold in a supermarket. These types of measurements can sometimes be even more important, or at least equally important, to yield, no matter what kind of system you have, because you will have a more marketable product. In many cases, a low amount of a high quality product will have more return on your investment than a high amount of a low quality product. And I'll say that again because that was a lot of words, but basically, if you have a little bit of a very good product, you're going to be able to sell that better than you will a lot of a low quality product. So usually that will turn around and mean a higher return on investment. But now we have to talk about the most looked at and for a lot of people's situations, the most important aspect of variety selection, and that's yield. Though I said just a second ago that you can have bigger return on investment with a low amount of a high quality product, you still need enough of that product. Sadly, in many cases, because of the law of genetics, because of Mother Nature, genetics have to sacrifice one thing or the other. So typically, you have either a very, very high yielding crop or fruit or whatever you're looking at, and it has poor quality. Or on the other hand, you have a really, really great quality of something, but it can't compete on the yield. And so it's really important to determine what that cross section is for you. Where do you have the highest yield where you still have that quality that you need? And what is that breaking point? What do you need to look at? So one really cool thing that NC State has come out with recently, if you are someone that grows grain crops, so that is corn, wheat, or soybeans, is that NC State has came out with a variety selection tool. And this is taking all of the official variety trial information from over the past, I believe it's the past 7 years at least. I think in wheat it's a little bit longer than that. It puts together all of this yield information, all of this quality information that they have been taking, and put it into a tool where you can select what type of soil you have. You can select what part of the state you're from, so Piedmont, Coastal Plain, or Sand Hills. You can look through all of these different characteristics, and you can find the best variety for your operation. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second and some opportunities I have coming up for some programming with that variety selection tool. But if you're growing tobacco, I believe most, if not all, tobacco growers know that the variety information, including yield and disease resistance and quality, is released every single year in the North Carolina Flu Cured Tobacco Production Guide. And as of right now, I still do not have those in, but hopefully we will have them in by next week sometime. As soon as we do, I will let everybody know. But that's where you can go for variety information on that. Like I have said, I am a field crops girl, so I am not completely up to date with all of the resources for vegetables or fruits or ornamentals or anything like that, but I do know that there is a Southeast Vegetable Crop Handbook, which does give a little bit of variety selection information. And so that is a resource if you're interested in anything like that, or in learning about how to select varieties or cultivars for your lawn or for even your hay fields, then reach out to the extension office, and the correct agents can give you all of the right information on that. And so just to remind everybody, the Person County phone number is 336-599-1195, and the Granville County phone number is 919-603-1350. So if you need any information on how to select the correct variety for your situation, then please give us a call and we'd be happy to help you out. Now, going back to that variety selection tool for the grain crop growers, it's a little bit confusing whenever you first look at this tool online. And so I am having a training in both Person and Granville County next week. The one in Granville County is going to be on the 24th, which is a Tuesday. It's going to start at 11 o'clock. It's going to run till 12. If you can, please bring a laptop or an iPad or even just your smartphone whenever you come to that. And we are going to work through examples on how you can narrow down and find the absolute best varieties for you to plant on your farm. Again, the Granville session is on the 24th, Tuesday, starting at 11 and going till 12. In Person County, the session is going to be on the 26th, which is a Thursday. It's also going to start at 11 and go until about 12. In Granville County, it's going to be at the Extension office right there on the research station, 125 Oxford Outer Loop Road. And then in Person County, it's going to be at 304 South Morgan Street. And so I really hope that if you're out there and you're listening and variety selection is important to you and you've been wanting to know more resources about it and you're a grain crop farmer, then please come out. I would be more than happy to help you, and we can even sit down at that time and go through an example for your farm if you'd want to. And you can leave that training session with a list of varieties that would perform best in your operation. So with that, that's all I've got to say about variety selection. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Rob so that some sponsors can get a word in. So Rob, I'll let you take it away.
James Shorty Loftus and Jason Loftus are proud to announce that they are the owners and operators of Loftus and Son Land Services, LLC. Call James Shorty Loftus at 336-592-6381 or call Jason Loftus at 919-282-4780 for all of your grading, landscaping, forestry, mulching, field edging, cleanup, driveways, and gravel work. That's Loftus and Sons Land Services, LLC. Family-owned land services with over 40 years experience spanning 3 generations. Again, you can call James Shorty Loftus at 336-592-6381 or Jason Loftus at 919-282-4780. Be sure to check out that Facebook page, Loftus and Sons Land Services, LLC.
Do you have those annoying potholes in your driveway? Need some driveway regrading? Or maybe you just need some new gravel? Give JT Allison a call. Jody has been in business for over 25 years, specializing in driveway grading and hauling gravel. He also does all types of small tractor work and some backhoe and bush hogging work. Jody strives to do a top-notch job and to make sure that you, the customer, is always happy. Whether it's a small job or a big job, we have multiple truck sizes to accommodate your needs. Here at JT Allison, we appreciate your business. Check us out on Facebook at JT Allison LLC or give us a call at 336-583-6250. Jody and Kim Allison. We are rocking the county one load at a time.
Thank you very much, Rob, and welcome back to the Gardener's Corner. Again, I'm Michaela Berryhill. I'm the Field Crops Extension Agent for Person in Granville County, and I am your host today. We're coming up on the last part of the Gardener Corner show, and did you ever hear about the lawsuits that occurred against hog farmers in the southeastern region of North Carolina? This happened a few years ago, and you might not remember or may not have heard about it, but this was an event that greatly impacted the farming community of North Carolina. Multiple farmers were impacted by these lawsuits, and Hog Farmer, The Trials of Joey Carter, is a documentary that tells that story. Hog Farmer tells the untold story of Joey Carter, a North Carolina farmer who was known as a model citizen in the small rural town of Beulahville, which is in Duplin County, North Carolina. A friendly neighbor who was always willing to lend a hand to those in need, Joey was a member of the volunteer fire department and had once served as the town's police chief. He was not the type of person who ever expected to find himself caught up in the middle of a federal lawsuit involving some of the nation's most ruthless trial lawyers and one of the world's largest food companies. But that's exactly what happened whenever Joey's family farm became the focal point in a series of nuisance trials that attracted national and international media attention. While a handful of his neighbors leveled charges of environmental racism in hopes of winning multi-million-dollar verdicts, Joey was left wondering how this could happen to a man who always played by the rules. And you may be asking yourself why I'm telling you about this documentary, but it's because myself and the other ag agents in person in Granville County, so that would be Miss Kim Woods and Mr. Johnny Coley, we have decided to put together screenings or movie nights showing this documentary, Hog Farmer, The Trials of Joey Carter, where you and your family can come and watch it. For these events, the admission will be free, but any donations we receive will be given to the NC Agri-Medicine Institute. We'll also be selling snacks, and the profits from that will also be donated to the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute. And as I come up on my last little bit of time on the show today, I just wanted to explain what the Agri-Medicine Institute is, why we want to support it, and why we're coupling it with this movie night or the showing of this Hog Farmer documentary. And so the mission of this institute is to promote the health and safety of farmers, fishermen, foresters, their workers, and their families through research, prevention/intervention, and education/outreach. This is done through an interinstitutional team whose partners are East Carolina University, North Carolina State University, and North Carolina A&T University. If you go to their website, ncagromedicine.org, that's NCAGROMEDICINE.org, you can find a plethora of information or just a lot of information about the challenges that farmers face. One aspect of the Agri-Medicine Institute that we are hoping to promote and support through this showing of Hog Farmer is two of their specific programs that are focused on mental health awareness and suicide prevention of farmers. One of these is Farm Ranch and Stress Assistance Network, North Carolina, which is a partnership that connects farmers and ranchers and others working in agriculture related settings with stress assistance programs and resources. These connectors help improve the physical and emotional well-being of our state's agricultural force. And while we're on that topic, I just want to throw this out there for anybody that may need it or for anybody that would like this information. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number is 988, which you can dial at any time. The second program from the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute that we are wanting to promote and to support is Farmer to Farmer, which is a program that provides peer support for farmers and farm family members experiencing difficult times. And anybody out there that's part of the farming community or has been part of the farming community in the past knows that that is most, if not all the time. We are also always coming up on challenges and under a lot of stress. And so that's why I think this program is so great. Peers are farmers/farm family members or others working in agriculture that have received special training and peer support. So basically, if you reach out and request a peer farmer, you will be put in contact with another farmer to help you work through your stress, anxiety, or any other mental pressures or issues that commonly come up on the farm. Um, if you are interested, you can also volunteer as a peer farmer if that is something that would interest you. You can find all of these resources at the NC Agromedicine Institute website, and that website is ncagromedicine.org. And that's agro, A-G-R-O. Or you can also call the Institute, and that number is 252-744-1008. And if you want any additional information about this, you of course can also reach out to either extension office, and we would be happy to help you get in contact with the Institute. Or if you just want to learn more about what they do, then you can also be in contact with us and we will get you those resources. They also do a lot of other great things. It's not all focused on mental health. There's also NC Agribility, which helps farmers that may have disabilities. It helps them find ways to be able to still use their equipment and do things on the farm despite their disability. There's also the option to have training for fire departments if they training for fire departments in case an emergency happens where someone gets stuck in a grain bin, which on most operations is a challenge and can happen, but they provide training on how fire departments can react so that no one is seriously injured or worse in those situations. So it's not just mental health. There's a lot of other really, really great resources and programs. So I really encourage you, if you are part of the farming community, or even if you're not, just go check it out and see what they do. Back to Hog Farmer and the story of the trials of Joey Carter. Come out and show your support of farmers. Come and learn a little bit about what happened a few years ago in the hog farming community. We will be showing this at the Granville County Expo and Convention Center on Friday, February 3rd, and at the Person County office building in the auditorium on Friday, February 10th. Both of these movie nights are going to have the doors open at 6 o'clock in the evening. The movie will actually start at 6:30, so that should give everybody time to come in, maybe grab some snacks, anything like that. Reminder that admission is free. Any profit that we make from the drink and snacks or donations that we receive will be sent to the NC Agromedicine Institute in support of farmer mental health. If you have any questions about these events or if you need any accommodations, please contact at the Person County office. That number is 336-599-1095, or the Granville County Extension office, and that number is 919-603-1350. Now switching gears a little bit, one last thing that I want to talk about are the upcoming pesticide courses for both Person and Granville County. We are working together to provide all of these pesticide recertification credit opportunities at the same time, though one in Person County and one in Granville County. And so the first one is going to be a commercial all category training. So that's if you have a commercial pesticide license or a government pesticide license. If you have questions, if your license category will be covered at this training, please reach out to us and we'll let you know. But that's going to be on February 14th at 1 in the afternoon, so 1 o'clock p.m. Again, it will be at the Granville County Extension Center or 125 Oxford Outer Loop. And then Person County will have it at the Person County Government Office, which is 304 South Morgan Street. Again, that will start at 1 p.m. and that's going to be all of the commercial categories. If you have questions about if it covers your category, please reach out to us. Next are V credits. Private pesticide applicators. If you're in Person County, you should have gotten a letter from me, or if you're in Granville County, you should have gotten a letter from Johnny. If you need these credits, they're for private pesticide applicators, so that's just for farm applicators. We are going to have 2 sessions of this. One is going to be on February 2nd. It's going to start at 6 o'clock in the evening, so 6 o'clock p.m. Again, we're going to have it at the Person County Extension Center or 125 Oxford Outer Loop, or in the auditorium at the Person County office, 304 South Morgan Street. Finally, we're going to have another V credit training that's going to be on February 8th. That's going to start at 8:30 in the morning. Again, you can attend this at Granville County at 125 Oxford Outer Loop, or in Person County at the Person County office at 304 South Morgan Street. Starts at 8:30 in the morning. You can register for these online, or you can reach out to us. You can call either extension office and we will get you registered. That is all that I have for this week's session of the Gardener's Corner. I hope that we see you at the Hog Farmer showings in the next few weeks. Bring your friends, bring your family. If you see it on Facebook, please reshare it. I'm going to be putting that out a good bit on both Facebook pages. So we hope to see you there. Thank you, Rob, for allowing us to come on. And everybody, I hope you have a great weekend.